I'm Jim Love, and if you're watching this, you probably missed the webinar. I get it. We're all busy, and I meant to go to a webinar and bailed at the last minute myself from time to time. So I'm doing for you what I wish somebody had done for me. I put together a quick summary to bring you up to date on what you might have missed. I call it the 3-minute webinar. When I got the idea, my chief writer and editor, Charlie, told me I was nuts. He bet me I couldn't capture an entire webinar in 3 minutes. Well, let's see who wins. It starts now. I have 2 guests for this webinar. 2 incredibly knowledgeable people. Ralph Loewen is the CEO of ITWC, and Curtis Johnstone is a distinguished engineer and Microsoft MVP from Quest. Say that 3 times really fast. We got 3 great real-world stories that Ralph covered, and each one had a different challenge. Here's just one of them.
We saw a situation too, another situation where a customer had a transportation network across North America. Consultant was working, he was migrating something, and he set off a process that actually ended up shutting down Active Directory, and transportation stopped across a continent. And as the CEO is phoning in every hour to the CIO, and the CIO is sitting beside a technician, that third level expert, and the third level expert's on the phone with Microsoft Premier Support trying to restore something that had been highly secure, had been locked down, followed many best practices, but an obscure thing brought it down.
We talked about some lessons learned from these stories, some practical things you could do.
Just by implementing MFA, multi-factor authentication alone, they could have put phenomenal protection on their end user accounts. They could have got probably greater than 99% of that protection there.
And when you truly learn those lessons, there are benefits.
I could tell you a really boring story. I have a second customer, 5,000-ish users, global manufacturing, sites in Canada and around the world. Just before COVID came along, they had activated their MFA. And as a result, they could monitor and they could see that there were people trying to access privileged accounts, and they were being thwarted. And so nothing happened. Could something have happened? Yes, but nothing happened. And that's actually kind of a boring story, but it's actually what we all want.
Actually, in today's world, boring sounds so nice. But this webinar was never boring. We talked about things that are key issues that we have to deal with, like how we keep up with changes in jobs, functions, and people.
Having a backup of on-prem AD beforehand is really crucial. And likewise, in the cloud, Azure AD, there's a common misconception that that's just backed up because it's in the cloud. It's not. So if someone deletes a security group in the cloud or a group membership that backs a number of key business applications, there is no backup for that.
And we even found some ways to save money.
So there's a Quest product, on-demand license management, which really does a great job inventorying all your licenses, and then it actually looks at what users have been using those licenses, and it flags unused licenses that are just like disabled and not assigned, that represent just a very easy cost savings. And then also how this ties into governance too. You don't want a dormant account out there licensed for access to some of these applications like Microsoft Teams if they don't need it.
And I even get in there with some advice.
And if you're watching this, don't presume that even your CIO knows. Like, if you see something, say something is the old story. You've learned some stuff today. If you see something, say something.
So that's it. How did we do? Oh, no way. Okay, you win this time. Yes! Okay, so I missed the time, but did I capture the essence? If you're interested in the answer to that, check out the on-demand version of the webinar. There's a link to it in the email. And if you'd rather read about it, there's a report that gives you some more detail. Let me know what you think. I'm Jim Love, the CIO of IT World Canada, and I'll see you at our next webinar, or I'll catch you on the 3-minute webinar.